Brought to you by Stephen Pettis Ministries.
This is Pastor April Pettis, and thank you for choosing to view the Juuk joint. That stands for Jesus Using Youth for the Kingdom, our television program that caters to us as youth and to help us to change a generation. Now, how are you living is the question I ask you. Won't you find out in this show on today? Check us out. What's up? This is Pastor April Pettis, and this is another episode of the Juuk joint. I am so excited. I mean, you just don't know how excited I am. And so this series that we're doing for the next few episodes is called our Summer Love Series, because summertime's coming along. People get summer flings and different things like that. And we just want to have a little turn on the perspective with summer flings and, you know, people developing Christian relationships and different things like that. So, you know, I'm not going to talk too much, but we're going to have a good discussion. So you better tune in, okay? So today we have four godly men. Oh my goodness, I'm just excited. So what I want them to do is just share their name, their age, you know, what they do. Maybe share something fun about you, and then we'll just kind of go from there, okay? So start with my guy right here, and we're going to make this happen.
How's everybody doing? My name is Robert. I actually went to high school with April. I'm 32. My job title, or I work for the city of Chicago as an inspector. One interesting fact you said? Or
yeah, one interesting fact.
I recently just purchased a new home, so I'm a homeowner.
Yes, okay, all right.
Hello, I'm known as Brother Derek here in the church. I'm 39, and I've been a doorman for 16 years on my job. One of my hobbies, I like to skate and dancing, and yeah, that's pretty much me.
Roll bounce. Okay. All right.
Hello, my name is Corey Remsen. I am 33 years old, and I am a recording examiner at a title company.
Hello, my name is Cosmos Uche. Excuse me. I'm a veterinarian. Excuse me. I'm a veterinarian, and I love pets generally, and I like to be happy, I guess.
Like to be happy. Okay. Well, people, here it is, our men for our men panel. So I'm excited, you guys. Now, you know, this is a Christian show, but, you know, we're going to take our hair off, you know, or maybe it's just me taking off my hair. How about that? But we're going to just have fun. And one of the things, you know, you guys are single or in a relationship or different things like that. You know, what are you finding? I'm just making a general question. What are you finding that's happening in the body of Christ concerning relationships? You know, especially in our age group, many of us are in our careers and our jobs and, you know, pursuing other things. What are you finding that's happening in the body of Christ concerning relationships? And everyone just said, who's going to go first?
I'll start off.
How about that?
He's all quiet. From my personal experiences, it seems to be, first of all, back in the day, from my mother and my grandmother's explanations, church used to be different as far as their standards, as far as the world with the societal standards. I believe slowly and surely some of the societal standards have creeped into church, and we view a lot of different things that society views rather than the spiritual aspects that we are supposed to be viewing. Another thing is I think there's been a confusion between wants and needs, and we favor wants without really recognizing or trying to find out what our needs are. Of course, we find that out by seeking God. So I think we're relying a lot on what we see. You know, society has a very huge influence on people when they're making various decisions.
So, you know, I'm glad you said about that wants and needs. So let's keep that in the cloud because we're going to talk about that. Anybody else want to just, you know, dive into that question?
I would say in terms of Christianity and the church and relationships, I think the focus has changed. People are coming to church to find their mate instead of looking for a relationship with God. So maybe when you develop or focus on your spirituality with God first, then maybe the relationship will come later. So instead of just coming to church looking for a husband or a wife, come to church looking for your development of being a godly man or godly woman.
Good. That's good. I'm so glad you guys shared that because, yeah, the church has changed. You know, the message of Jesus is still the same. You know, Jesus is Lord and, you know, everything like that. But the methods have changed, you know, from even when I first was going to church as a young kid. You know, we had deacon board. You know, now we got praise and worship. Ain't nothing wrong with that, even if you still have deacon board. Or just like, you know, maybe Sunday dinners and things like that. Now it's drive-through dinner. I mean, you know, and it's not to be funny, but the element of the church has changed. But it is true that people go to church, and I want to say this bold statement. I know I'm probably getting, you know, persecuted by this. People go to church to find a mate. They go all day long looking who they go, and they go to the biggest churches because, you know, not to say, you know, you can't find love in smaller venues or whatever, but they go to the big churches to find somebody, you know, that they say, oh man, you know, that's a man of God because he lifted his hands up, but they have not saw the fruit of that. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to talk about this wants and needs because you said an interesting point, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to bring that up down the line. What's the difference with wants and needs? I want somebody, example, men say, who have, you know, nice legs. I'm just going to start off nice. She got nice legs, so I'm just going to date her because I saw them legs. I said, oh, Jesus, those legs are hot. Now, that's what you want. Then the need is, you know, I want somebody who's saved for real, or, you know, whatever the case. But how have you defined, even in your, let's even go with my guy, okay? How would you define wants and needs concerning a relationship? Now, you're in a relationship currently right now, and so how would you define that? What would you say is the big picture when it comes to that?
I would say, well, for wants and need, just like it's defined, if, like when I was trying to get into a relationship, I knew what I needed in a woman.
What do you need?
Well, I needed someone who, first, people tell me I'm humble, but I feel like I'm humble, you know, so I need someone who would be on the same level with me in terms of humility. You know, she needs to be humble. I love people who are humble. I love people who, you know, tend to be themselves. You know, don't try to always make. There's nothing wrong in making your standards too high, but when it becomes a problem to everyone around you, then you probably need to like check: am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? People may hate you, yes, because your standards are high. It still doesn't make you that. It still doesn't mean you're not humble. It just means that okay, I'm not going to rub it in their faces like I have all this and they don't have all that. But I'll be the best way I can to be myself around them. So I wanted someone who would be on the same page with me in terms of humility. You know, I love to make people happy. I love to be happy. You know, so if you're the type of person who feels like okay, you tend to not want to be the person who you are in front of other people, then there's a problem. So I need someone who is humble as a person.
That's a need.
That's a need.
What if she's 300 pounds?
That doesn't matter still.
So, okay, now I'm going to say this. Does it matter? She's humble. Let's use this as your characteristic, but she's 300 pounds. I'm going to ask this for any of y'all.
The way I look at it is, I look at it as like a job. You have jobs that have requirements and preferences, but based on your requirements, sometimes preferences can be overlooked and they'll just bypass it. I could prefer a woman that's slim, but if I'm attracted to this woman, she's 300 pounds and she fits the requirements, then who am I to push her away? I don't think a lot of men are not attracted to women that are not fitting to society.
Voluptuous living. Let's call that.
No, I was going to go the whole nine with societal standards of beauty. Women that don't fit that. I don't think a lot of men are not, but what a lot of men and women sometimes mess up with is we are looking at what people are going to think when they see me with this person. I feel like if you're attracted to this person, then you should just get with this
That's
person
all that
and
matters.
forget everybody else. And then the other thing is that a lot of times we use, I think it's 3 levels you're attracted to a person. You have the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. And they don't act in that same order. I've been in relationships where initially I wasn't even physically attracted to this woman. I was actually trying to holler at her best friend.
Wow.
And her best friend asked me to take her out to home. And the girl just wanted to stop and eat. And we got to talking. The conversation made me view her differently than I saw her before. I got with her, and I had people in the church like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hey, I'm liking this relationship.
Yeah.
So if you ain't on that page with me, you can skedaddle.
You said a lot. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to add something that, like, for most women, I think women tend to bother more on the way they appear on the physical. I'm
Did
just
he
saying.
say
Let me.
that women?
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying, as much as
clean it up, brother. Clean it up.
as much as you worry about the way you appear on the external, you need to also worry about the way you appear on the internal, which is very key. It's just like a car. You see a very nice car. It's a Rolls Royce, but it doesn't mean the engine is exactly. You want to drive that car. You want that car.
Yeah.
But the point is, the car will not fit your need because the engine is not as good as you think it should be. So that's the way you need to start. Women need to, because when you ask the question, would you want to be with a lady who's 300 pounds? There's absolutely nothing wrong. Like he said, she might be on the same mental level with you. She might be what you need at that point in time. She might be the kind of woman who would probably, inspire you to be where you want to be. But on the physical, she doesn't appear that way.
But, I just got to shoot from the hip because that's how the diva do. So what gets me, the truth of the matter, is from the naked eye. Okay? Me having this face, I had this conversation with someone. Me having this particular face, but I was a little heavier. This person probably would not want to talk to me, not to be funny, because men are physical, visual creatures. Okay, can we go with that? All right. So when you see a girl, you're like, dang, man, she fine, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Women tend to be, and I know I got a few ladies out here, seem to get to know your personality. Like, I do see you, but we more so, because I'll give you this example. Have you ever seen like a beautiful woman with somebody who just didn't look, as a guy who just didn't look? Yeah. And it's like, dang, how did she get with him? Or how did they, vice versa. Yeah. And I'm only saying it just from, I know of course we're doing our experiences. That seem like, society has put it out more so with women than men. Even with getting married. Something wrong with you. You 35, you 44 years old, and you not married yet. It ain't no pressure for y'all to get married. No.
No, it's not.
Play it from the Himalayas. Okay. Standing on the window. Like, it's no pressure for y'all to get married. Y'all get married, so it's like my guy, George Clooney, at an older age. And nobody say nothing. But let it be me. I'm 60 years old, and that's my first, something wrong with her. Don't you hear that? So we talk about needs and wants, and I'm going back to my question. If, in fact, somebody who was a little bigger, 300 pounds, I'm just saying 300 pounds because depending on how tall it is, it may not look whatever. 300 pounds, would you be more inclined as a man?
Tune in to Better Life Lessons, where we bring you the hottest topics that are discussed in today's society. You don't want to miss this. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 p.m. on Cable 25. Continue to be blessed. Tune in to The Juuk Joint, where we talk about youth issues such as sex, peer pressure, pregnancy, and other topics to let you know that you are not alone. Join us every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on Cable 25. Getting ready for that special event? Personality Chairs is the exclusive carrier of El Vernel Designs and Creations. We are real elegance without the high cost. One-of-a-kind contemporary and vintage decorative pillows and floral arrangements handmade by El Vernel Designs and Creations. Only at Personality Chairs, 209 Main Street, Bensonville, Illinois. Call 630-350-3509.
Now, I'm not talking about you get to know her and you see her heart. You don't get to know somebody until you spend time with her. But initially, would you go and talk to her?
No.
Thank you. One verse, and that's the truth. Next.
Well, me per se, it doesn't matter what size you are. Some men have their perspective of women's too, where they see the size. Now, you have to understand something about a man's nature, that we are visual. So we like whatever is pleasing to the eyesight. So even if the woman could be a 10, it doesn't matter if she's 10 or she's a 18. It's just what you see at that time.
Or 24.
And it may look good to, or 24. If it looks good to you at that time, and a man is gonna go for it, because we are visual. So it's not the fact whether if you can be this high, because we have some.
It's your perspective.
It's your perspective
where you at right there.
Where you at, and how are you visualing that woman at that time? Because like I said, some men, I mean, you know, you can have a beautiful woman who's, you know, a size 24 and got the most beautiful face than a person that's a size 8. So it's just the perspective of how you see that woman that you see at that time, to where are you drawing attraction to her, no matter if it's physically, emotionally, or even sexually. Because you have some men that, like I said, the perspective of that woman at that time, which is how do he see her?
Okay, you know, so you said no. How come? Because I just, you know, you could be one out of 3 men, or 2 out of 3. Don't get me started. So you said no. Why?
Just, you know, physically speaking, I'm about 5'7", 5'8", 145. So if it's 300 pounds, I mean, that's just not going to work.
Okay.
And not to be disrespectful, and physical attraction is very huge to me. I have to be, and not saying that 300-pound women aren't attractive, but if I'm married to her and she gains weight, that's a different story. But if I'm seeing someone that's walking down the street and she's 250, 300 pounds, I'm not going to be inclined to just walk up to her. I'm just not going to do it.
Even if you was 6'3" and a little bigger, do you think you still would? Or is that just not, you just, from your eyesight, it just never was in your inclination to just maybe say, hey, how you doing? You know?
I have dated women that have been on the bigger side than me, but not that big. But yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, physical attraction is huge.
Physical attraction is huge.
I have to be physically attracted to the person who I'm involved with. That's just, I take that very serious.
And I just gave example 300 pounds. I mean, it could be, you know, somebody who's 100 pounds and that's anorexic. You know, I mean, they could be 5'6", or I mean, not 5'6", 6 feet, and they 100 pounds. Like, that looks a little funny. You know what I mean? I'm just bringing up because the whole idea of physical attraction is something that a lot of women, that insecurity, oh, I don't look like a certain way, so that's why he's not going to talk to me. Or let me dangle a little bait so he can say something to me. You know, maybe if I wear this and wear that, you know. So I want to bring that up because physical attraction is one thing that people are, you know, we inclined to. We're visual people, you know what I'm saying? And then you get deeper and you get to know them. You know, you said something, you know, so key. Once you get married, now we're going to go back to the single life, but once you get married, let's say in the marriage, okay, your wife had a certain type of build, and then all of a sudden she, you know, said, oh, I had 5 kids or 2 kids or 3 kids, even 1 kid, and they gain more weight. Do you feel it's your job to say, hey, honey, it's time for you to go on the treadmill?
From a health standpoint, yeah, because I don't want to be left here by myself. At the same time, I have to turn that on me too. I got to make sure I'm on point.
I'm so glad you said that. Isn't it amazing to me how people do this? I want this beautiful girl, glory to God, who's sharp, and you ain't looking a certain way. Have you seen that before? That it seems like, and maybe because it's experiences that I've had with my sister girls and stuff like that, where it's like you look at me like you want me to be like in shape, and then I look around and said, well, you know, you should maybe stop eating that cheeseburger. Okay, maybe them cookies too, and maybe you should work out. And isn't it amazing to me that that happens? more so with men telling women, you know, oh my goodness, you need to lose weight or whatever the case. I'm just giving this for, it's just not me. I'm not saying. This is for all of the women who felt this way, who's dealt with this and everything like that. So I'm glad you said that. We should do it together, right? Mm-hmm. It should be a togetherness.
And it's a way to do things. I think that's where we as a people, we miss out on. Sometimes it's the right thing to do, but how we do it makes it look like the wrong thing to do. When you love somebody, I love my mother. So it's some things that I'm concerned with my mother's health. I'm not going to say it any kind of way to my mother. Well, maybe not that's not a good example, because she'll hit me too. But, right. But like with my woman, I don't want to hurt you. So I'm going to be careful where I say stuff, you know. And I think sometimes, especially us as men, because we could be kind of blunt sometimes as men. I know me, I could be a kind of blunt person. But when it comes to people I love, I try to make sure I say it the right way. Sometimes I mess up and say it the wrong way. But then with that love factor, too, you come back and you try to apologize. I think that's another thing.
Okay. You know, we just getting it stirred up because I want to bring it down. You know what I'm saying? Starting on with the physical attraction. We got that going on. You know, the church has shifted. People going to church looking for mates. It's bothersome because do you ever, and I'm going to ask this now, you know, Derek, you were married before, and you got married at what age? You were 19?
21.
21 years old. Okay. Now, you know, you are 39 years old and stuff like that. So I'm asking this question. Do you ever feel pressure? When are you going to get married?
At one point in time, I was in a serious relationship with a young lady, and we was at that point where she put the pressure on me because I think it had something to do with considering that I had kids with another woman, and to see that me being the kind of man that I am about my kids and still having that associate with their mom, I think it was just like a little insecurity because she figured, well, if I put the chain on him, then that tells me that she don't have a chance of getting him back. So I could say, yeah, I was in a situation where I was pressured to get married, and because of the fact that she knew she didn't want my ex-wife to come back in the picture, and she felt insecure that maybe it's a possibility that I could want her or not want her. So yeah.
Okay. Well, do you feel pressure, Robert?
I dealt with struggle with being well. Let me go back. I have a large network in terms of, like, you know, people I went to school with, you know, the mentoring network that I'm part of. So a lot of my college friends are having children, getting married. I want to have a family, but I've developed more of a, not contentment, but I'm not in a hurry anymore like I used to be. And actually, I think being single has been the best years of my life because I wasn't where I was at spiritually 4 years ago that I am now. You know, so being single has allowed me to develop my relationship with Christ more. You know, get school out the way, get myself mentally, spiritually. So as of right now, I don't feel as in a hurry as I used to be. But eventually, I do want to get married, have a family. I'm not gonna say I want to get married by I'm 35 years old because it may not happen by I'm 35. But as of right now, I don't feel any pressure.
How about you guys? You feel pressure?
I wouldn't say it's a direct pressure, maybe from my mom or my dad or any other person or family around me, but it's, for me, from my own perspective, I think there comes a certain age in a man's life where you definitely need to settle down. You don't need anyone to pressure you, to tell you, you know. If a guy is 30 above, I think if you find the right person and you feel like this person is compatible with you, there's nothing should stop you from settling down, except if certain things are not in place. Say you don't have a steady job, maybe you don't have a proper roof over your head. It might be a little bit difficult. But the point is, it shouldn't be, you should be the one telling yourself. I'm the one telling myself, look, I've come of age to get married, so if I find someone who's serious enough, who can, you know, stay with me, you know, through these times, then yeah, why not? I should settle down. So it's more of a personal pressure on myself because I feel like I'm of that age where I need to settle down and be more responsible, not just for myself, but should have a family unit. I can say, okay, this is my family. So not pressure from other people, no.
How about you?
I do feel pressure, but I don't give in to the pressure. Growing up in church, you know, I was because when you were saying that it's not no pressure on me, in church, first of all, I'm a singer, so all of my friends started getting married. So you get tired of going to all these weddings and you singing at all these weddings and everything. You at them receptions and you singing and stuff. You like, bro, I still ain't. After a while, you look around, you ain't got nobody to kick it with no more because everybody got families and things. So then you see everybody like, it looks like they're progressing forward and you're not. The other thing, I do believe it's a natural tendency in men.
So I know how you feel. You're like, man, they just getting to the good stuff. I mean, God is moved by His Spirit, and we're so glad you tuned in to this show. Our conversation piece, everything is just gelling. I mean, we're having a good time on our show. But don't you be dismayed. You can check us out on our YouTube channel and continue on with our discussions and different things that we're doing. Thank you again for viewing this show, and we pray that it has been a blessing to you. Now, I'll leave you with this. My favorite scripture, now unto Him who's able to keep you from falling. You got to want to be kept. So check out The Better Life on Juuk Joint.
Tune in to Better Life Lessons, where we bring you the hottest topics that are discussed in today's society. You don't want to miss this. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 p.m. on Cable 25. Continue to be blessed. Getting ready for that special event? Personality Chairs is the exclusive carrier of El Vernel Designs and Creations. We are real elegance without the high cost. One-of-a-kind contemporary and vintage decorative pillows and floral arrangements handmade by El Vernel Designs and Creations. Only at Personality Chairs, 209 Main Street, Bensonville, Illinois. Call 630-350-3509. Receive a free gift from Better Life Faith Church International. That's right, a free gift. Just go to www.stephenpettisministries.org and click on the green free gift button on the screen to get your free gift. For more information, please call 877-324-8497. Come view the live webcast of Better Life Faith Church International. Go to www.stephenpettisministries.org and click on the live webcast button to watch the entire service live in your very own home or when you're on the go. Live webcast services are held Sundays at 12:30 p.m. and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. In the car, on the iPhone, or any mobile device, you can always get up to the minute blessings by Stephen L. Pettis of Better Life Faith Church International. To find out more about this podcast, go to www.stephenpettisministries.org. For more information, please call 877-324-8497.